Hi, my name is Justin Garcia, licensed acupuncturist and the owner of Studio 36, Acupuncture and Integrative Medicine, located in Glendora, California. So today we're going to continue on learning Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan, and we're going to be learning and introducing Chan Si Jing, or silk reeling exercise, right? So if you remember from our last video, we had practiced learning the stationary position of Lan Jia Yi, right? And so first let's recap Lan Jia Yi. First we need to find the appropriate stance, right? And so appropriate stance is about 3.5 foot widths, lengthwise this way. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then we bring our heel around, making our feet parallel. So we have about 3.5. So this is an appropriate stance. Of course, if you're just starting out, we can bring it in a little bit. Otherwise, this is a pretty decent place to start. Okay, so I'm going to be working on my left side. So I'm going to turn my left foot out about 45-degree angle. And then I'm going to turn my right toe out just slightly, about 5 degrees. Okay, now so from here I'm going to sink down and sit down into a stool, sinking in here in what we call the qua and bending my knees. And then I'm going to shift my weight over to the left side. You can adjust your feet a little bit as necessary, right? So I have about 70% of my weight on my left leg and 30% on the right leg, right? So I extend my left hand out in the same direction as my left toe, and I place my right hand on my right hip. So this is our Lan Jia Yi position, okay? And it goes the same for both sides. Okay? So once we feel comfortable with our Lan Jia Yi position, then we can continue on to learn what we call the silk reeling exercise. Okay, so why do we call it silk reeling exercise? It's because we want to create a continuous, smooth, round, circular motion, just as if we were reeling in silk on a spindle, right? So as the fresh silk, as they did in China in the ancient days using silk worms, right? So the silk is a very delicate material. So if we are to use fast and choppy movements, right, then the silk would break. If we use very slow and stagnant movements, then the silk will clump together. So we need to have the movements flowing very smoothly and continuously in a nice harmonious and a nice smooth round fashion. So that's where we get the name for the silk reeling exercise, or Chan Si Jing in Chinese. Okay, so there are a few things that we want to point out. Just as when we were in our Lan Jia Yi position, we want to make sure that we are opening our thighs so the qua is open and that we're sitting down, right? So what we don't want to do is, if we look from the side, we want the back to be straight and we want to sink down just slightly. So what we don't want to happen is we don't want the knees to bend forward. You see that? You see how when I bent my knees, and the knees went forward like that. So we don't want that to happen. So in order to correct that, one is that we need to make sure that the knees are opening out, and then that we sink down in the hip joint. So this we call the qua. So the qua is open, and then we sit directly down. So you see that my knees staying back where my toes are. If I move back, you can see a little more clearly, right? So we do not want the knee to go like this. We want the knee to stay up. Okay? So that's the first main point that we want to make sure. We don't want the weight to lean forward. We don't want our knees to go over our toes, right? So that'll put all of our body weight directly onto our knees, and then this will cause pain in the knees. So a lot of people, when they're trying to learn Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan, or maybe they've learned it in the past, and they always say, oh, my knees are not good. Well, not that your knees are not good, but also that you're probably doing it incorrectly, and the teacher never took the time to show you how to do it correctly. So to avoid knee injury, that is the first thing we need to do. We always need to make sure that we're able to see our toe when we look down from the inside of our leg, right? If I go like this, my knees are coming forward. If I look down, I cannot see my toe. All I can see is my thigh and my knee, right? So therefore, all my weight is coming directly onto my knee, right? So that's going to be bad in the long run. Okay, so when we do our silk reeling exercise, there's a few other points that we need to keep in mind. We need to keep attention to our vertical axis that we have running down the center of our body, right? You can see on the white line of the shirt that the vertical axis remains vertical, right? For our first silk reeling exercise, we call single hand silk reeling, or 单手缠丝巾. Vertical remains vertical. And then we also have horizontal planes as well. You can see the horizontal plane here at your hips, and then also with your shoulders. So we don't want the horizontal, you see here, if my hip protrudes out, the horizontal axis here at my hip is no longer horizontal, right? Or we don't want to turn this way either. We want to maintain horizontal here at the hips, so that also goes for the shoulders as well. Okay? So we get into our 懒在一 position. Okay, so piece by piece, we're going to just break it down in very general terms. We're going to drop our left arm down. Now from here, I'm going to push off my left foot, shift my weight to the right. Now I'm going to turn my body on my central axis, about 40 degrees, give or take. And then I'll continue up with my left arm, rotating so the palm faces out. And then I'm going to shift my weight back to the left, rotate on the central axis, extend the arm out, and then drop it down. So we shift, turn, the arm comes up, palm facing out, and then we shift back to the left, turn on the center, extend the arm out, and then bring it down. So we have shift, turn, arm comes up, palm faces out, and then shift, turn, extend the arm out, and then we're back into 懒在一. Okay, so let me show you from the side. Now I'm using my left arm. So in 懒在一 position for my left hand, 单手缠丝巾, single hand silk reeling exercise. So the arm comes down, I shift my weight to the right, I turn on the center, I bring my arm up, palm faces out, and then I shift, turn, extend the arm out, down. Shift to the right, turn on the center, arm comes up, palm faces out, shift, turn, extend the arm out, and down. Shift, turn, arm comes up, palm out, and then shift to the left, turn on the center, and extend the arm out, and we're back in 懒在一. Okay. Now I'll turn around. We'll do another demonstration from the back. So I'm working on the left side. So remember, we have the left toe pointing in about 45-degree direction, and then the right toe just slightly opened out to the side. We bend both knees, sitting down in the kwa, back is straight, as if we're sitting on a stool. Right hand on the right hip, and the left hand extending out. Okay, we drop the hand down, we shift our weight to the right, we turn on the center axis, the arm comes up, palm facing out, shift, turn, extend the arm out, bringing it down. shift, turn, arm comes up, palm faces out, shift, turning on the center, extending the arm out, bringing it down. Shift, turn, arm comes up, palm facing out, shift, turn, we bring the arm out and down. And then back to Lan Zai Yi. Okay, so another point to mention, a common error that happens quite often is that we like to focus on our hand. So when the hand comes down, a lot of new students tend to follow their hand with their head, right? So we don't want to do this, right? When the hand drops down, the head remains with the visual plane in front, right? And then as we shift our weight, my eyes scan the room over to the right side, my hand comes up, and then I shift my weight back to the left, and then my head, as my body rotates, my head turns, following the direction of my hand. But when the hand extends out and drops down, we don't want to follow our hand with our head, right? If we follow our hand with our head, we're going to be breaking that vertical line, right? So as a general rule, we want to maintain the vertical line. And the line runs from the center of our top of our head to the center, bottom of our groin. So we try to maintain a straight line. So if we turn the head and we end up following the arm, right, we're going to break that line. We're going to break that vertical axis. So we want to maintain vertical here. And once again, also, if we follow the arm here, we're going to be breaking this horizontal line across the shoulders, because this shoulder is going to be dropping down, this shoulder is going to raise up. Right. So to avoid that, we just keep the chin slightly tucked, raising the back of the spine. Here's the hand comes down. We just follow the range of motion for this shoulder. See, the hand comes down. We don't need to accentuate it and drag the body down, dropping the shoulders. No, we don't want to do that. We keep the body upright, the arm drops, and then it's here. The shoulders remain flat. We go back to the right, and then we turn. We're always pivoting on the central axis here. So we turn, sweeping the arm across. The arm comes up, shift, turn, extending out. And another common error that we want to avoid is when the arm raises up. We don't want the elbow to be above the wrist, right? So we don't want to come across this way, this leaving this side exposed. We want to drop the elbow, drop the shoulder. Nice and loose, nice and relaxed. The elbow, generally speaking, is just slightly lower than the wrist as we come across. Okay, so we drop the arm, shift to the right, turn on the center, arm comes up. Shift, turn, extend the arm out, drop it down, shift, turn, arm comes up, shift, turn, and then we're back at the start, at Lanzai. Okay, one last time, viewing from behind. We start in our Lanzai position. Drop the arm down, then we shift. Turn, arm comes up. Shift, turn, extend the arm out, bring it down. Shift, turn, arm comes up. Shift, turn, extend the arm out, and bring it down. Nice fluid movement. One movement, gently leading into the next. Keeping the body nice and loose, nice and relaxed. Release the tension. Right, we don't want to move through the movements with any strength, per se. Not using li. Chinese we say li. Li is that external, strong, muscular strength. We want to be loose, relaxed, allowing for optimal qi flow. Right, so we come up, shift, turn on the center, extending the left arm out, and back to the beginning. Lanzai position. Okay, so that was our left hand single-handed silk reeling exercise. Or in Chinese we could say 左手单手缠丝经. Okay, and now next we will practice our right-handed 单手缠丝经, or the right hand silk reeling exercise. So now we're going to continue on with our silk reeling practice. We have just gone over the left hand single-handed silk reeling exercise, or we say 左手单手缠丝经. So now we're going to use our right hand, right-sided silk reeling exercise, or 右手单手缠丝经. Okay? So once again, just as we had done before, we get an appropriate stance. 1, 2, 3 and a half. 3.5 foot widths, right? Now we're going to be working on the right side. So we're going to turn the right toe out at about 45-degree angle. And then we're going to just turn the left toe out ever so slightly. We bend the knees. We open the qua, keeping the back straight as if we're sitting on a stool. We're going to shift our weight over to the right side. So I have 70% of my weight on this side and about 30% on the other side. I place my left hand on my left hip, and I'm going to extend my right arm out over my right knee in the same direction, about 45 degrees. Now we're in Lanzai position with my head turned, also facing towards my right hand. Okay, so once again, same as we had done on the left side. We drop the right arm, we shift our weight to the left, turn on the center, arm comes up, palm faces out, shift, turn, extend the arm out, bring it down. We shift to the left, turn on the center, arm comes up, palm faces out, we shift to the right, turn on the center, extend the arm out, bring it down. Shift, turn, arm comes up, shift, turn, extend the arm out, and bring it down. Nice and smooth, fluid motion. maintaining straight back with the vertical axis, and then also maintaining the horizontal axis, which you can be seen at the hips and at the shoulders. Nice, relaxed, fluid motion. And we shift, turn, extend the arm out, bring it down, shift, turn, raise the arm up, palm facing out. And then we come up, shift, turn, and back to Lan Zai Yi. Okay, I'll do it once again from behind, so you can follow along. So, we get our stance that we're comfortable with. Since we're working on the right side, remember the side we're working, we're going to point that toe out in a 45-degree angle, and the other toe just going to be slightly out to the side. So we begin in our Lan Zai Yi position, and then we drop the arm, we shift, turn, bring the arm up, palm facing out, shift, turn, extend the arm out, bring it down. Shift to the left, turn the center, arm up, palm facing out, shift, turn, extend the arm out, bringing it down. So remember, keep our elbow down, shoulder down, and when the arm drops, keeping our head level, not dropping our head to follow our hand. Right? So nice fluid movements, nice and relaxed. Keeping the vertical axis vertical and making sure that our hips stay parallel to the ground, and keeping our shoulders parallel to the ground as well. All right, arm comes up, palm faces out, we shift, turn the center, extend the arm out, and we're back in Lan Zai Yi position. Okay, so that is how we practice right-handed silk reeling exercise. And these two are both the foundations for studying Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan. Okay, next video, be happy to show you how we can combine those two together to do a very famous position that we call cloud hands, or yun shou in Chinese. Okay, thank you for watching. So as we continue on our journey, learning and understanding Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan, today we're going to be learning a very famous movement and posture that is known as cloud hands. So Chen-style Tai Chi Chuan, cloud hands is very distinct in our positioning of our hands. If you've been following along in the previous videos, if you have practiced our single-handed silk reeling exercise, 单手摊丝经, now when we do our cloud hands, we also refer to it as 双手摊丝经. 双手 just means two-handed silk reeling exercise. When we practice it within our Tai Chi form, that position otherwise is known as cloud hands or yun shou. Okay, so when we start with cloud hands, generally we can start from our dan bian position. right? So in our earlier videos, we went over the standing position of danbian, and so we can review right now. So danbian, just as with lanzai, we need to get our appropriate stance. So once again, it's about 3.5 foot widths. So we can measure it out, 1, 2, 3, and bring the heel around for half. Okay. Now, generally within our form practice, we usually end up starting on our left side. So we're going to do that here by turning the left foot out at about 45 degrees, and then also by just turning the right toe out just ever so slightly. So remember, I just want to recap that we do not want to have both feet turning outwards at 45 degrees, right? This will be for a very poor balance, right? And it's not very stable, right? So we don't want to have both toes pointing out at 45 degrees. So be sure you need to pay attention to that. The side that we're working in today is going to be on the left side. This toe can be 45 degrees. The other toe needs to bring it in, but we don't need it to be totally perpendicular, but just slightly open out. So we're going to bend the knees, open and sink the quad as we usually have done, and we're going to shift our weight onto the left side. So remember, knees opening out so that the knees don't drop forward over the toes, right? Legs open out, weight onto the left side, right? And then we sink down, open the quad, back is straight as if we're sitting on a stool. Okay, so the danbian position is we created the hook with our right hand, which is pinching the thumb and middle finger together and then allowing the other fingers to wrap around. And then opening the left hand, right? And if you put the right hand down, it is just very similar, if not the same as lanzai. But the single whip, danbian position, has the right hand up into a hook, gosho, and then the left hand extending out. Right, so to begin, 双手缠丝经 or double hand silk reading, we start here in our danbian position, and then we're going to drop the right hand and bring it across. Then we're going to drop the left and bring the right hand up. So the hand that's on top, we're going to rotate so that the palm faces out. And then the hand on the bottom is just down here, below. Once our hands are in this position, we shift our weight to the right. We turn on that center axis. And then we're going to bring the right hand down and bring the left hand up, palm facing out. Right, so before we continue, make sure our hands are in the appropriate position. So the elbow is down, palm facing out, and the right hand, palm facing to the left and just inside the right knee. So then the arms don't move, but we shift our weight to the left. And then also, arms staying put. We turn on the center, and then we switch. Left hand comes down, right hand comes up, palm faces out. Right? So make sure we're comfortable with this position before we move forward. And then we shift, arms don't move. Turn on the center, arms still don't move. And now we change positions. Right hand came down, left hand came up. Right? So now we shift, turning on the center, switching the hand position. Shift, center, rotating, arm switch. Shift, turn, switch. Shift, turn, switch. Nice and relaxed. Nice fluid movement. So if you notice, the movement is actually, if I stop my right hand, for example, just my left hand goes. It is just as we had done before in the single hand silk reeling exercise. So now bring the other arm in. If I stop my left hand, now it is just my right hand doing the single hand silk reeling exercise. We put both hands together. Then we have double hand, 双手, silk reeling exercise, otherwise known as cloud hands. Right, so remember, shift, rotate on the center, and then the arms switch positions. Shift your weight, turning on the center, and the arms switch. So we can go back, make a hook with our right hand, the left hand continues up, shift your weight, extending out, and then we open back into danbian, our single whip. Okay, I'll do it one more time from behind. It's easier to follow along. Okay, so once we're in danbian position, we begin by dropping the right hand, bringing it across. We drop the left, bring the right up. We shift, turn on the center, then we change hand positions. Shift, turn, change hand positions. Right, keeping your arms, your neck, your back nice and loose. So we shift, turning on the center axis, and then we switch our hand positions. Shift, turn on the center, and then we switch. Okay, so then we go back, we make a hook with our right hand, left hand comes up, palm faces out, shift our weight, rotate on the center, we open, extend the left hand, and then into danbian, or single whip. Okay, so that concludes the double hand silk reeling practice, or 双手 찬스 징. Okay, so now we have reviewed and we have learned 单手 찬스 징 on the left hand as well as on the right hand. And now we have done 双手 찬스 징. So these two are the most common fundamental drills that we learn when we start learning and practicing Chen style Tai Chi Chuan. So keep practicing, and we'll see you next time for our next video where we can continue learning Chen style Tai Chi Chuan.